Hi there. Uh, Something that's kind of weighing on me right now is the difficulties of the extremes of BPD. Um, this weekend was difficult. For a while, I've been low energy or frustrated and wanting to draw away from my children, and I hate that. I truly, truly hate feeling like I can't just be present and really fully enjoy them. As well as things are pretty busy right now. Um, I work part time. I have my first daughter in school now, and then I have some fundraiser things that I have to get together for that. Um, I have the rest of my HISED GED stuff and trying to schedule pre-tests and exams. It's a lot. And then I have to then try to synchronize the schedule with my husband, who you never know exactly when for sure he can get off work. And my parents, who do want to enjoy being retired. They want to go camping and enjoy the weather. So finding a babysitter and what times are going to work and everything like that is a lot. As well as my daughter's been having to go to the doctor a little bit more. Nothing serious, just minor infection. And we have had colds for like 5 weeks, 6 weeks straight now. And it's killing me. So, all of that rattling in my head. And then wanting to expand and do well with this channel too, I'm losing sleep and I'm having all these problems with everything going on. So I've been really low energy and just feeling in a fog. And Sunday it hit its breaking point. My husband had to work this weekend, and I found myself just completely unable to cope. And my kids are naughty. They are constantly testing boundaries and not working with me. And um, I just put my kids into timeouts, and for a longer period than I would, 10 minutes. But then my oldest fell asleep during her timeout, and I felt guilty, and tried to hang out with my youngest daughter, and then I still had to find a way to shower, and I was upset that we didn't make it to church because everything was being such a battle, and I just had an emotional breakdown. Just bawling periodically, and having to escape to my bedroom so I'm not concerning the kids. And it sucked because I couldn't make myself be okay. I could not get a grip. I couldn't, even though I knew the different problems. And I knew I loved my kids. I felt insufficient. That I couldn't take care of my kids well enough. And how could I not handle them? They're just two little kids, and I love them. If I love them, then why can't I handle this? And something that's been a big struggle for me is that I really want to have a third child. And I don't believe my husband does. And so I feel like he's done really passive aggressive ways, different things this year that have caused problems for us. I feel like to say I'm not ready for this, and sometimes I feel like he's completely justified to not want to have another one with me. I'm not handling this perfectly. Why on earth would I have another one? And then there's always the battle of, should I even have kids at all? Am I a horrible mother? So all of those things snowballing and compounding them because you have such a deep desire to experience having a child again, but then feeling like you can't even give your own two the life that you want them to. And if you're not able to cope, and so, it had been at least a week of kind of slipping into that kind of depressive state, and those self-harm thoughts start to come in. And even though you know that, no, this isn't the place I'm going anymore, it is hard. And when my husband did get home, I went to take a walk, and he asked me what had happened, and I told him I couldn't talk about it. And he's bewildered, like, oh my gosh, what did she do? Is everybody okay? What is going on? And so I told him how I didn't hurt the kids, everybody's okay, but I'm not okay, and I can't talk about it. So I took a walk. We did talk about it later, and that was still really hard. And I don't even feel like we've really arrived at what the solution is as far as that whole child situation. And I'm not sure that I can make this marriage work. So that in itself is difficult. And in so many ways, my children are really all that I need. And 2 is plenty. But even with all that rationale, I'm struggling, and he doesn't understand it. And so I'm talking to him about whether I should just get rid of all the baby stuff, because every time I'm faced with packing up more or trying to weed through toys and whatnot, and I come across something that I'd want to keep for another child, but should pass on to somebody else if we're not having another, I'm hit with those extremely strong emotions. And even though I try to fight it back with logic of, well, but you're fine with only 2, and well, but things aren't going so great in your marriage anyway, you shouldn't have another. And it just gets to be so intense between the 2. So even though I have not figured that out, somehow decompressing and having a serious emotional breakdown and crying on and off all day, yesterday I was doing a little bit better. I could finally feel like myself and get a little bit more stuff done and be there more for my kids. And then today, it's been experiencing more of that mania. I washed all the laundry, and I was folding it and finding a way to get the kids down for naps, and then immediately shower and start throwing some bread in the oven and getting a soup made in the slow cooker that I've never made before. What am I thinking? And trying to get the basket ready for the fundraiser. So I was all over the place. Now, granted, my house looks like a mess because I was trying to tackle a whole lot of things at once. But then I've come to work, tackling a whole bunch of stuff at once because lots of things need to get done. And then I'm going to go home and I'm going to wrap up everything that I can. And I love the mania. I really do. I love being ultra focused and energized, and you get high off of I'm gonna just take it on, and okay, I can do that, and how can I find a way to, fit this in, and how many things can I juggle at once? Maybe I can do another thing. And it's a little crazy. But I do love it. And it's so frustrating because I've been down this road so many times now and been mindful, knowing what's down the road. And maybe I will be manic again tomorrow and it'll be a super productive day. But I myself have a cold, and as well as any time that you go through the mania, I'm gonna hit another wall. And I am so tired of that routine, of the mania and the depression. I wish I could somehow find a way to always be manic, because I get a lot done. So I really like that. But I wish I could smooth it out. Maybe I can. Maybe I can't. But it's just frustrating. And those of you with BPD, you understand how that feels to when the extremes are constantly colliding, and how it is so frustrating. And it's hard for those around you. I think it's really hard on my husband. Sometimes my kids pick up on it too. Excuse me, but I don't know how much. They definitely notice more so on my manic days because they're trying to keep up almost. So, yeah. But, while I have you here, I am not doing so great at taking care of the things that cause me anxiety for our weekly challenge, but I am going to try to put in a better effort now that I am feeling a little bit better for the rest of the week. And then something that I have added for Pinterest is I added some pictures. So I have my own board of pictures that I've taken that kind of feel inspiring or evoke some kind of emotion, as well as I'm also doing a board about recipes for the hard days. And I have 2 in there so far. One is for artisan bread, which I will be enjoying tonight, and that is so crazy easy, and you can do it way in advance so that you don't have to really keep track of much. And then some Nutella cookies, which are so good and everybody enjoys it. And so when I am having really bad days, like I have just in the past couple weeks, I make it up and my kids feel like I am the best mom ever because I've made cookies with them. And it really only took 3 ingredients and my bare minimum energy. So, something to kind of help us all out and try to somehow make it an easier road. Anyways, thank you so much for listening, and I guess I will talk to you next at the weekly challenge. Thanks.